Well, Mary Jo mentioned earlier that the Boston Foundation was there at the beginning for Hubie Jones when he thought of bringing the Boston Children's Chorus to Boston. I remember being in the room with Hubie when he saw Boston Children's Chorus, and he said, "We're going to bring that to Boston." And sure enough, and Hubie says he's going to do something, it's going to get done. We're going to talk a little bit about that phenomenon, the there at the beginning phenomenon that's really been a hallmark of the Boston Foundation for many years. When I first moved back to this country in 2000, I had never run or started a nonprofit. I went to the Boston Foundation. I was a little bit miffed that they asked me all these questions. I thought you just gave me the money. But they decided to take a chance and give Year Up a grant to help us get started. Not only are those funds critical when you're starting an organization, but the good housekeeping seal of approval that comes from being funded by the Boston Foundation attracted other organizations, foundations, individuals to get behind the organization I've had the privilege to lead now for 15 years. And I'm humbled to say we started with 22 students in one small space in Boston, and now this upcoming year will serve 3,100 young people in 16 cities across the country, thanks to the Boston Foundation. And over that time, the Foundation's provided more than $1 million to help us grow and scale and be successful. So we're deeply indebted to the Foundation for being there at the beginning. And it's been an honor to partner with them over these many years to help us get to be a better, smarter organization. Ray, I think you have a similar story yourself.
Actually, my story dates back to 1992, when gang violence took a turn that's hard for us to imagine today. And that is the disruption of a funeral at Morning Star Baptist Church with both gunshots and a stabbing. Clergy and lay leaders, with the help of youth and street workers in our city, one of whom is sitting right there, Robert Lewis. They banded together to redirect the lives of high-risk Black and Latino youth, and that effort was the birth of the Boston 10-Point Coalition. An early grant and steady support from the Boston Foundation helped to ensure that this was not a stillbirth. That support helped the coalition begin to mobilize the greater Boston community, and especially the Christian community, around the needs of young people. That mobilization, along with community policing and young people who had a tremendous impact, and the efforts of partners all over Boston, turned things around and came to be called the Boston Miracle. Thank God for the miracle. Today, we haven't solved the heartbreak of youth violence, but we're a long way from where we were in 1992. And in Boston, we have come to accept and embrace the idea that a future for all of Boston's young people can happen only if we all work together. Now, we're fairly recent examples, but some of those critical early grants were made to organizations way back when. So I'm going to ask if I can get a witness from John Abbott from WGBI.